Hello my lovers, how are we doing? So still on the kidney, there are a lot of things to talk about the kidney. So still on the kidney, there are other things that can affect the kidney is formation of stone. I know that you have heard of kidney stones multiple of time. So those stones is just, they clump together, and then they really look like the actual stone you see on the road and pick. But the problem here is that those stones, when it is very extensive and has taken over the kidney, that kidney stands a chance to be removed if it is very, very extensive, the stone. Otherwise they can just remove the stones like that. But now the problem is that one of those stones in the kidney, one of those stones can dislodge and get into the urethra. It can cause a blockage. So this dot is a blockage from the kidney stone. When that blockage happens, urine that should be flowing from the kidney down through the urethra to the bladder will no longer be flowing again because of what? Because of this obstruction here. So what happens? The urine will start flowing in the opposite direction. Alright, the urine would. So this tube now, instead of being slim, you see the tube will now be what? The tube will now be enlarged because of the accumulation of urine. And when it is not if it is not treated on time and the urine gets back to congest the kidney, it can cause the patient to have kidney problem. It can cause the patient to have a renal problem as a result of that stone that is lodged in the urethra. So what do? The doctors, there's what they call the nephrostomy tube. They are going to pass the tube across the obstruction in the urethra. That stone too can be in the bladder neck. Okay, so they are going to pass a tube past the obstruction. They call that tube the nephrostomy tube. So once they pass the tube, and then the tube will be able, urine that is collecting up will be able to drain into the collecting bag of the nephrostomy tube. They do this to save the kidney from damage while giving this patient treatment that is going to help them get rid of those stones that is causing those problems. Okay, so we are talking about the passing the tube, nephrostomy tube. So surgeons, nephrologists, they have different ways of assessing the urethra. Okay, but then you see the patient, that tubing and the bag will be on the outside. So it's just an illustration of how they can drain the urine that is gathering here. They want to drain it so that it doesn't go to traumatize the kidney, because if they allow it to go and congest the kidney, it will deprive the kidney of a lot of things, and the patients will now have kidney problem. Okay, so what do we talk about again? I'll see us again in our next video, still on the kidney, but I want to focus on the bladder neck. Alright, thank you all for following us. I hope you enjoy our teaching. See you soon.